Welcome to Inspire Network Discussions. Today, I'm very happy to meet one other person related to Christine. This time is professionally. So I'm happy to meet the superior of Christine at work. And the idea of this meeting is just to get the picture of Christine as a professional person, as well as the needs and points of views of the welfare society in Zambia in regards to the inclusion and diversity, and especially for the people with living with physical disabilities. So Christine Superior will open up a little bit about how is it like to work with Christine, but also how does the government of Zambia look into the whole issue of individuals living with disabilities. We hope also you will support in the fundraising, which is going to be opened later this month. We will inform everybody through this channel. And also you can comment and share if you have any opinion, questions, or even a comment for support in order for Christine to get a go ahead on what is better, what is needed, and what could be the most important aspect to concentrate when she's realizing her dream. Inspire Network is happy to collaborate with her and to support her in the mission, and we are hoping for the best and nothing but that in order to fulfill the new sort of development into the Zambian community and later also in the entire Africa. So I thank you very much for joining, and please feel free to comment, ask, or share this conversation, as it is very important to put the word forward. I know that this is you're not speaking here on behalf of the government of Zambia, so
yeah, I know. Yeah, so my name's Matthew Mtonga. I'm working under government in the Department of Social Welfare.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've been working with Christine, I think for a year and 6 months now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in Kawe district of Central Province, Zambia.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. And what is Christine's role there?
She's a probation officer and a juvenile inspector. Yeah, so yes, so as a probation officer, our law is picking up court issues with juvenile in conflict of law. So she stands in for the children, those who are in conflict of law, in law.
Yes.
Representing them in the courts of law.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, and then the other role she plays is of monitoring and evaluation officer, where the government through our ministry is implementing a program called social cash transfer.
That's right.
This is a program which gives vulnerable some cash form of empowerment. Those who are aged 65 years and above, those who are different abled, chronically ill and palliative care, and women keeping at least 3 children. These women should be unmarried. Yes. Yeah, so it's a government program under social protection, which goes in the field, identify these people within their communities and put on the program. So after the selection, she also monitors how they're using that money, what impact is it has the program brought in their household. Yeah, at all their challenges, and then she submits the report. Yeah, then we also have a program under the same ministry which we call Public Welfare Assistance Scheme, which is the focal person where she recommends students identifies the children, those who are really in need of education support. Then, as the government, we start paying for those people. Under that program, also have another one which we offer bursaries, those now going to universities or colleges, where they come to the office and then she interviews those applicants and then recommends whether one qualifies under 60%, is it 70 or 100%.
All right.
So so that's what she does.
Oh, fantastic! Quite a lot of work, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And how is she as a professional in the office? She just graduated, I understood.
Okay. Yeah, she just graduated, but she had the diploma previously.
That's right.
So and then she decided to advance academic qualification. And then she was given a study leave to study at the highest institution, learning institution in Zambia, which is the University of Zambia. Yeah,
that's right.
Which I didn't have any doubt that I was so sure that she would definitely graduate.
Definitely.
Yes, that's why we've been accorded a chance to go and study.
Very good. That was very thoughtful, and I think it's always important for the employers to get more skilled professionals, and she seemed to be happy when I was discussing with her. And very happy individual as well. I'm interested to know a little bit about these programs that you offer. Do you have specific institutions that you're working with in Zambia, or how do you decide, let's say, if you have a person with disability and you would like to offer him or her support in one of your programs, are they sent to disabled special schools, or is this kind of an overall program for everybody and anyone can apply to be supported for university education or something like that?
Okay, for those who are disabled, anyone can apply for as long as that person meets the minimum standard. For example, need to have 5 O-levels.
That's right.
And yes, so for example, if someone applies to any institution, any university, and that person has been accepted, our law now there is making sure that we place that particular person into an institution. Whoever is facing financial challenges, we do make sure that they acquire bursary facilities. So for those, mostly we recommend 100%, and then the government moves in to sponsor until they finish. Then they start working, that's when they start recovering, paying back years.
That's right.
And then for the social cash transfer program, for that one, like I told you, it targets the aged who are 65 years and above, chronically on palliative care.
That's right.
The disabled, child-headed household, and unmarried women keeping at least 3 children and above.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and recently we are running a program which was being sponsored by UNICEF Zambia. It's COVID-19 emergency cash transfer. So
that's right.
That one was targeting those who were economically defeated during the pandemic, as well as those who were laid off of their informal working place, as well as those who are disabled, those who had no capacity to work, those people who are considered unfit for work. So she was one of the people we are going out doing numeration.
I see.
And the good news about Christine is that she's always there, and she does great work compared to the people who are just physically okay. For her, when you're like, I think with this condition and where you're going, I think for you it's not advantageous. So she will say, "Hey, what can stop me from reaching there?" So she's always there. She's always in front, and
That's right.
yeah,
Oh, that's good.
she's a fighter.
Yeah, definitely, and that's good. And how is it generally in the workplace, not necessarily into the government, but in Zambia as a whole? The employability of the people who have some physical disabilities or any sort of disability, is it tolerable, or is it something that needs a little bit of push?
I think it's tolerable in the sense that for working in government, for as long as you meet the qualification, those people are considered the priority.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. When it comes to NGOs that we partner with, like UNICEF, they are encouraged to apply, and they most of the time they are picked. But the challenge comes in, there are very few, I can say, I think 8% of people with disability, those who make it up to university levels. So you find there are very few in Zambia who with such qualifications. So it's they're difficult to find someone with that particular
qualification.
Yeah,
Yes.
but in terms of empowerment and what employing them, I think they stand a higher chance.
And I spoke with Christine a little bit, and I know that one of the challenges for this group of people to study could be also that they are hidden in their homes, or some parents are not able to get the kids to go to elementary school. But all in all, how many about is the population of the people living with physical disabilities in Zambia? Just roughly, it doesn't have to be an accurate.
Okay, I think about total population for Zambia is about 13 million. Yeah, so I think those living with disability, should I say about 1 million?
Okay, so quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
And are there some organizations that you recognize as the government? Because I think at some point the government can't do everything. They need some sort of input from the independent organizations, like UNICEF, for example. But are there some of these organizations which are supporting the work for the people living with physical disability or mental disability, for example?
Yes, we have Zambia Person Living with Disability, which is ZAPID, which is a state or institution that's strictly for those living with disability. They issue disability card. Yeah, and in government structure, they are considered they are the best because it's more like government institution. Of course, so we also have some non-governmental organization or social agencies that provide such kind of services. But like in Zambia, the one which is highly recommended is ZAPID, Zambia Person Living. Yes.
Okay. Yes. And what about the educational institutions? I learned from the parents of Christine that maybe the primary school or nursery school, special schools altogether, might be so far away, so they're not well scattered. How is the situation all in all? Are there enough, or there could be more?
Yeah, that's a challenge. In Zambia, we only have 2 special schools. One in Copper Belt, the other one in Southern Province, which is, and then we are based in Cabo, which is a central place. So it's about a distance. The nearest distance is about 450 kilometers to reach that particular institution. So there are very few. Actually, we are only have 2 special schools.
What about the vocational schools for
people living with disability?
Yeah, like a vocational school, because I think this is also another thing that we have been looking at, a possibility to run some sort of a vocational education to push the professionalism of these people. Of course, this is such a big, big dream, but just to know the situation in Zambia.
Yes, in Zambia, we have 2 vocational centers, especially for those living with disability. Yeah, so though even those 2, they are not enough, and you find they are very far apart, like a distance of 450 kilometers, and not everyone manages to take their children to those institutions.
That's right, and of course they have to have the tuition fees and those type of things to be able to. Yeah, so it's again another hurdle from the family as to I see. Yes, but that's pretty much a challenge, I think, in most areas of our continent, that we don't have much of these facilities to facilitate individuals with disabilities. But it could also be that there is not enough noise, so to say, to get these things happen.
Exactly.
Yes. Very good. That's only 2 schools. That's quite, for 1 million people, is a very small
exactly.
small amount of people. But what would you see as a specialist in I think it's the Department of Welfare that you're working in?
Yes.
Into what would be your dream? Let's say a perfect dream for these people living with disabilities someday. In terms of their professional development and inclusion and diversity altogether.
I think personally, I would love to advocate for more institutions that offers such kind of service, like vocational centers. And not only that, we are trying as the ministry to encourage these modern schools that they are building to be at least favorable to people living with disability. Because most of the structures that are being used are not favorable for people living with disability. And we have very few qualified staffs to train the students in that field. It takes a special skill to train or educate some people living with disability.
Of course, yes,
so
that's true.
The key thing is at least we need to raise awareness in our community. So that their parents are able to take the children to such facilities. So the main thing, we need to start with the government itself by making sure that the structures are favorable and we have trained staff to educate these people. And then from there, we go now in the community, educate the parents, not just to be keeping these children, because they are being judged, like since you are like this, you can't manage it. For you, just be staying at home. So we need to send a message to the parents with children with disability, so that they need to send children to school.
And
as the ministry, well, it's our for us, those people with living disability, when they come for scholarship, sponsorship, we consider them the priority. So some parents, they like the knowledge,
where
the children are being judged. So I think it's the opposite side with in relation to Christine's issue. Yeah, at least maybe I should say parents with most parents with children with disability, especially those who have not been to school. I think that it's so difficult also taking their children to school. Yeah, unless maybe a child who is born with a disability, maybe the parents are a little bit educated. That's when they see the need of taking the child
to the schools. Yes, and that's a typical challenge. Yeah, I see. So I was discussing with Christine, and we thought about the crazy idea usually of possibly fundraising. Of course, fundraising is a possibility, but now that I heard there are 1 million people living with disability, that's quite a number.
Yeah.
you will never cut a, but of course I know they're in different layers. But
yes.
The idea was to generate some sort of advocacy center, and I am very interested in the cooperation between the government, private industry, academia, and entrepreneur, or quadruple helix, how do they call nowadays? And with this type of an initiative, it would be favorable if the local government sort of support, meaning that let's say tomorrow we have really succeeded, and we need a place to plant these buildings or emporium of service, because it should be really a new service, or if we need a building to run these services. But then we have people from the government who would be coming there to support, and the services are sort of going to be planned in a way that individuals will be trained in various layers. But of course, there will be still a lot of this type of work, as I've said, to go out and get parents be aware of how is it like to have a child with disability, and don't be shy, take him or her to school, this type of advocacy work. But a vocational school, for example, because some of those people are already in their mid-30s and they didn't go to school at all, but they could be empowered somehow for entrepreneurial activities. Is this something that Zambia wants and Zambia would see as a support into combating this challenge? I mean,
yeah. To start with, for as long as the organization is registered, we as the department, as the ministry, will try to advocate for people living with disability. Definitely, we do recommend for such people coming up with such an ideas, in terms if they want to put up a vocational center, definitely there can be some even exemption written by government to support their ideas, if in case they need some space of land where they need to build with such, definitely they can be considered by giving such institutions. Yeah, it's a very good move coming up with vocational centers, in the sense that this awareness, of course, they are there of taking these children with disability to school, but they started very late. Some people, I'm sure there must be 20, 30 years and doing nothing. Yet there are some skills that they can learn even at old age.
That's true.
That one would be a plus, especially in the province where we are.
Yes.
It's called Central Province because it's at the central part of Zambia, of which it even had advantage can call for more people with disabilities to come at the center, because Kabwe district is at the center of the nation. So
That's
it's
right.
more like it covers, reduces some distance,
Mm-hmm.
and can attract a lot of people living with disability.
Wonderful. That's good to hear, because it's really important, and many times these initiatives come and go, but I would hope that this will be a successful story, and even starting small, but then scaling up as the time go, because because the community of the people living with disability is a little bit hidden. I wouldn't say forgotten as such, but maybe hidden in a sense because of our cultural beliefs. But on the 21st century, it would be wiser to open up to the new horizons and get these people a possibility, and show the world that, like Christine, for example, these people can go to work, and they will, as long as they are hardworking, because at the end of the day, this is the bottom line. Exactly. As long as they're hardworking and willing, then they're able to do something. But giving them a space and getting them out to the street, I think that could be very, very important. Yeah. That was good to hear. So we will come back to you when we collect our funds, and we are ready to ask for land somewhere. But I think this will be. I have a positive thinking in that sense.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very good initiative, and I would really support that idea from my department, and make sure that I engage the relevant authority. If you come up with such an idea, that land is provided. Yeah. So whatever issue, I hope your dreams will definitely come true, and whatever is needed, please engage us. We are free, and such ideas as government, as such ideas coming on board, we are very grateful, so that at least you supplement government effort, since government has a lot of responsibility, and some of the field we don't manage to reach out to everyone. So with such kind of thinking, definitely it will go a long way.
That's right. Yeah, and the idea was mostly also to develop this type of units or facilities, starting with one, obviously, but those that will also kind of generate own income to run by themselves. But then, of course, they will need a lot of consultations of experts from the government, from the education, and, for example, hospitals and so forth. I think this is pretty much, in short, what I wanted to discuss with you. But my last question would be: but is there something that was in your mind when you look at the overall welfare of these individuals living with disability that you wanted to add up into this based on the work you are doing?
Oh yeah, yes. I think with government, we are lacking, and it leaves more to be desired with this agency, like what I was telling you about, which is called Zambia Person Living with Disability.
That's right.
Yes, there's more that we need, especially in terms of funds. It's very difficult to reach everyone, and most of the people you find, they're only cater for those people in urban areas. Yet there are a lot of people living with disability in rural areas. They don't have any information about this organization, and the organization itself with the staff cannot make it to reach out to everyone because of funds.
Yes.
So we I feel if they can be a non-governmental organization which can come on board with a muscle of reaching out to the people at grassroots in those rural areas, educating them, yeah, it could be very much okay. Of course, we have televisions, but not everyone with television. Not every household has television, especially those in rural areas. Those areas have been left out. And for these people, for example, the same agents, Zambia person living with disability, the issue cards of which it can be recognized. For example, if someone wants to buy a car, they are exempted in paying duty and all that. Yeah, and yet people out there in typical rural areas, they have no idea. Yeah, if such an organization really exists, and it only gives allowance to the people in urban because they need to follow them to the office which is based in the urban. They don't go in the field. So if we have kind of awareness and where the support is needed, we have a structure or a focal point person at local level, community level, it can really send a good signal. So yeah, sensitization is some form of empowerment. Just even if you have not given that person resources or what, but just educating that particular person, it's a very good empowerment to them. At least they will know, okay, we are not left out in these activities. If we can't do this particular activity as physically challenged people or disabled people, definitely we can do these other things that can suit.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
So that's what we are lacking.
The options.
And I feel we need to do something in that.
Yeah, it's a step by step. I mean, it's
exactly.
not possible to attack everything at the same time.
Exactly.
Very good. Yes. Thanks a lot for this insight. I think it's clearly that the work is still to be done.
Yeah.
The cooperation would work, and I think the cooperation with academia as well. Of course, it's the work which needs such an organization that is so clear, and it won't die someday, because if it happens this year and then next year it doesn't happen, then there is no sustainability of it. And I think that's one of the things that has to be addressed as well. Yes, but of course, it's a step by step. We are going there. we are towards the goal, and I think it's good to start than not to start at all.
Exactly. Yeah. We are looking forward to see if that is put into implementation. Definitely, it would be a milestone. A lot of people will be so thankful.
Yeah, I just told Christine that the only thing that is necessary is not to give up, because I think when we empower people like Christine, the other people living with disabilities will see and say, oh yeah, actually we can also do that. And then slowly they start to also be confident, because I think confidence is one of the things that is a little bit putting them behind, as they're scared or worried, or their parents are worried, and these type of things. But apparently at the end of the day nowadays, everybody has to go out and try to figure out the possibilities. Yeah. So thanks a lot, and for your time and for sharing your perspectives. I think this was very eye-opening as well.
Okay. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Have a nice rest of the day.
Thank you. Same to you.